do these talks usually go, would you say? They don't have enough. I'm probably gonna go about 20 minutes, if that's okay?
It's fine.
Okay, 20, 30 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. So, my name is Dr. Bill Baer. I'm just recently retired, a practitioner of 40 years. I was in downtown Rochester. I served on Jefferson Avenue, had an inner city practice. Despite the fact that I had inner city practice, we had very high success in treating high blood pressure and diabetes. And I was one of America's top doctors for 35 years in a row. I graduated from Princeton and Harvard Med School and had a great practice. I received several community service awards. So I really enjoyed my practice, but one of the things that I always was frustrated with is that people got sick because they weren't taking their medicine. So this is what kind of drove me to develop MediTeddi, your medication coach. And I've carried this over now into my retirement, and this is kind of my passion, to try to get people to take their medicine on a regular basis. And I've studied this subject quite a great deal, and I want to just let you guys in on kind of some of the things that I found out. So I feel this is a bear that for some people will save their life. This is a bear that can save your life. There are other kinds of bears, of course. It wouldn't be this kind of bear would save your life. And, but maybe this kind of bear would save your life. So this is what I'm talking about. So how could this bear help you? I'm going to go into that a little bit later, but I want to talk a little bit about medications, the good, the bad, and the ugly. So, this is a test you just, or not test, but the survey you just took. And I noticed you guys were kind of, a little bit over the spectrum about your trust of medications and the finances, and that may be why you're here at this talk today. So I'd like to talk about that a little bit before we go into our bear here. So I would say, I want to talk a little bit about how you feel about taking medications. And so just to get started, which of your medicines do you feel is the most important, the best medicine for the best price? Anybody want to venture forth there in medicine?
For my heart.
Your heart? That's a good one.
I have AFib.
What's that?
I have AFib.
AFib.
Yeah.
So which medicine for AFib do you
I
take?
take Coumadin every day.
Coumadin.
Right.
Yeah, and you don't want to have a stroke or
Right.
something like that, so you don't miss that one.
Although I haven't had a real episode of AFib for 10 years, but the doctor won't let me go off it.
Right.
It's
'Cause-
worth it.
Yeah. Well, it just takes one, right?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Coumadin is a tricky medicine, though. It has benefits and costs. You don't want to fall down and have any bleeding, so you have to be careful with that, right?
Right.
Yeah. So that's one you have good faith in. It's inexpensive, and you take it regularly.
Now, my insurance pays for it.
Yeah, that's good too. Any other medicines that you take that you feel that are critical to your health?
Blood pressure.
Blood pressure, yeah. Now that's a little unusual because blood pressure is the one that people sometimes put to the side because you don't usually feel high blood pressure, and the benefits are maybe years down the road. So that is one of the ones, we'll talk about that a little bit later, that people tend to put aside. So anyway, and what about medicines that don't seem so important? Are there any medicines you're taking and say, oh, I don't know about that one. Maybe I could drop that one. Have you got any medicines like that?
I do the statins.
The statins.
I don't like to take statins. I started and then I went off for years, and everybody said go back on it, and I still. I take it when I take ice cream. That's it.
Take it with ice cream. Well, that's, yeah, the statins.
There are complications to that, for the statins.
Yeah, there are. And that's a logical choice there because the statins, as you get older, their benefits get less and their costs might get more. But you have to discuss that with your doctor. But yeah, there are some medicines that are like, okay, this is solid. I got to take this. And there's medicines, maybe not so much, right?
That's right.
Aspirin's another one that's kind of gone out of favor lately. It's good for preventing a heart attack if you ever had one, but it's maybe not so good if you never had a heart attack, you never had anything,
Right.
because it causes bleeding and that type of thing. So statins are very controversial right now.
Yes, they
So,
were, and they've been controversial for years.
They have.
Years.
They're always, yes, they are. There's a certain subset where they're very valuable, and then there's another subset, well, maybe not so much. And as you get older, their value gets less and less. So that's logical. See, people don't just not take medicine for no good reason. There's always a reason. So you have to keep that in mind as we deal with this problem. So yeah, now, what medicine do you never miss?
No, I take them all.
You take them all pretty regular,
Yeah.
no matter what. Okay.
I never missed Metropolol.
Your metoprolol, why is that?
Why? Because I had a lot of irregular beats.
Yeah, and when you
Had a
miss
lot
it,
of problems with it,
yeah,
so that regulates it.
makes sense. Yes, sir.
I did have a question. Do medicines have a different effect as you get older? You kind of hinted at that. But I
Yes.
wasn't sure.
You have more side effects as you get older,
Yeah.
and your body doesn't break them down as quickly, so that's why you have more side effects, and they may not be as effective as you get older. Or like with the statins, they may not be as beneficial as you get older. So yeah, that's true. Now, and then there's some medicines that you might kick to the curb every now and then, or you just take all yours regularly. How many medicines do you take a day?
Well,
And-
I take them in the morning and at night.
How many?
Oh. 4, 3, 7.
Seven different medicines?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, some of them you take morning, some you take at night.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's a lot. That's about average over the age of 65. 90% of people are taking some medicines. More than half Americans take prescription medicines now. So that's about average. Okay. So and this is some of the reasons why people sometimes skip their medicines. They have no symptoms. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Side effects, cost. Somebody put cost on their thing. I don't know who put cost, but somebody mentioned that their medicines were too expensive. Was that you, Ann?
No.
No, okay. So, some people are just, kind of isolated or lonely, and they just don't care at this point. They just kind of gave up the ghost. They don't trust the doctors or the healthcare system. 95% of my patients were African American, and they didn't trust the healthcare system, period. And you really had to talk to them and convince them to do a lot of different things. So, they have good reason. If they remember the Tuskegee, every African American patient knows about the Tuskegee experiments where they gave black people syphilis and then just watched syphilis go through their system and see what the effects were. So that was, that was a long time ago, but they remember it. And so they don't trust doctors and stuff. It took me a long time to gain that trust. But I believe I did. So, or the medical regimen is too complicated. 7 medicine isn't that bad. Some people take 10, 15, 20 medicines, So those are a lot of different reasons. Now, so the way to help people take their medicine more regularly, and I believe that you should have a doctor review every 3 to 6 months to see if you can get off some of your medicines. The cholesterol medicine, I believe, would be a reasonable talk with your doctor. Just leave it at that, right? Yeah.
I tell them going off.
Pardon?
I told them I was going off.
Okay, you let them know. Only with ice cream, maybe beef stroganoff. Something along those lines. Yeah, yeah. I'm not sure that's the most effective way to do it.
No, but
That's your strategy.
that's my strategy.
Yeah. Now, blood pressure medicines you don't want to take off and on, off and on.
No.
Like metoprolol. Because what happens when you stop metoprolol, your blood pressure goes way up. And then it comes down. So you're on a roller coaster. You don't want to do that with blood pressure medicine. Cholesterol medicine, I don't know. But you don't want to mess around with your blood pressure medicine like that.
No, I don't.
probably more harm than good doing that, but you don't. So, so ways to make medicines more palatable would be to, lower the price, decrease the number, take it less often. If you take it more than twice a day, forget about it. People aren't going to take it, unless you're really dedicated. Avoid side effects. You need to understand why the meds are being given. If you ask people why they're taking every one of their pills, hardly anybody's going to know. People here seem to be very educated and know a lot about their medicines. And in fact, I was telling, this is my wife Linda here, and my neighbor Stuart. I was telling Linda it'd be a nice place to live. It seems very nice at least. But everybody seems to know what's going on. But I would do a medicine review every 3 months with your doctor and ask them what medicines I can get off. And then, for those who are still having trouble, there's always our little friends here. MediTeddi. Okay, so let's see. Before I get to MediTeddi, let me just give you a couple of more boring facts here. This is from Excelis. Probably some of you have Excelis. For every 100 patients prescribed medicine, about 30% never even fill a prescription. This is, they say 12%. 88% fill a prescription, 76% take the medicine, and about 3 months later, only half people are taking medicine. Now, as you get older, people are more serious about dying, and they take their medicine more reliably. But when you're young, nobody's taking their medicine, hardly. I mean, only half of all prescribed medicines ever taken. So it's kind of scary. And I've seen this in my practice all the time. People out of the hospital with stroke, heart attack, diabetes, seizures, asthma attacks, they haven't been taking their medicine. And it's frustrating. And I was like, I was battling with my patients all the time. It's not just African American patients, it's all patients everywhere. And it's terrible that we have these great medicines, this great knowledge, Nobel Prize winning cholesterol medicines. People won several Nobel Prizes for developing them, and people don't take them. So I was fighting with, and it became frustrating after a while. I had one patient, he was George, and I gave George blood pressure medicine A. Okay, blood pressure didn't change. I gave George blood pressure medicine B. This is a true story. Nothing changed. So I said, George, I said, are you taking your medicine? He said, yes, doctor, I'm taking my medicine. So I said, okay, I'm going to give you blood pressure medicine C. I said, okay. And then I had a long talk with George, about 10 or 15 minutes. That's like eons in a doctor's office. And I said, George, I want you to really take your medicine. He says, okay, doctor, I'm going to take my medicines. So what does he do? Turns out George was never taking any of his medicines. So then he takes A, B, and C all at once. What happens? He goes out and drives his car, passes out, and drives into a tree because he was never taking A, B, or C. Nobody was hurt, but it just was a lesson to me. Half the time when you see the blood pressure not going down, it's because they're not taking their medicine, not because the blood pressure doesn't work. And this was proven in a study. Yes, Stuart.
My mother had eye trouble in her later years. She had to put multiple drops all during the day, and it was difficult for her to remember to.
Yeah.
So is it considered medicine, eye drops?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's not so
Medicines are hard
difficult
to
to
take.
remember, it's difficult for them to do.
Yeah, eye drops are tough. I think they have these new things now. You can put the thing over your eye, but it's
Right.
tough if you have to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You're right. So anyway, medicines are generally not taken, except here at the summit. This is my first talk. I had to pick a place where probably everybody's taking their medicine, but it's still good practice. And this just goes to show, it's kind of busy, but up here you see 125,000 deaths every year from people not taking their medicine. And this has been a statistical study. Now, 43,000 people die each year from breast cancer, okay? So this is not a small number. 60,000 people die each year from colon cancer. 400,000 people died the first year from COVID. So this is not peanuts. This is serious. This is something I saw all the time. So billions of dollars, et cetera, et cetera. So, and this says 1 out of 3 people never even fill their prescriptions. So it's crazy. So now what I did is I had people bring their, I said, bring all your medicines in. Okay, so what happens? People bring in, they've got like stacks and stacks of bottles of pills. So this is a prescription plan from your pharmacy, and they send your medicines every month. And so what happens, these pills pile up. This is thousands of dollars worth of medicine that people aren't taking. And they said, well, the pharmacy keeps sending them. They're sending me too much medicine. I said, no, they just send you the amount you're supposed to be taking. And I would get, piles of medicine like this. So, so this is when I thought, well, what can we do? And what I had was I had a diabetes. What I first did was I developed a diabetes education class, and that worked really well. And the reason it worked is that people had a friendly atmosphere where they could talk about their problems. And I said, well, how can I do this for people that can't come into my office? And that's when I thought about MediTeddi. MediTeddi is a friendly reminder system, so that helps people remember to take their medicine. And MediTeddi also stores that information so you can go to your doctor. Well, let's say George had MediTeddi at home, and every time he took his medicine, he pressed the button, and then that would be stored in MediTeddi. And then when he brought MediTeddi in, George would say, I'm taking my medicine, but MediTeddi would tell me he's not taking his medicine, and I wouldn't have given him blood pressure medicine A, B, and C. And just because I'm not the only dumb doctor that does stuff like this. A hypertension referral clinic, I forgot where it was, but this hypertension referral clinic, it's a very good idea of their patients. This is for patients that the worst of the worst blood pressure patients. So what they did, when they came to the clinic, they tested them all for whether they were taking their blood pressure pills. And these very difficult patients that were very hard to treat, 30% of them weren't taking their blood pressure pills. So right off the bat, these refractory blood pressure patients actually weren't taking their pills. So that they cured 30% right away. So, so anyway, this is where MediTeddi comes in handy, because it also stores information. So let's see. So it asks you twice a day when you take your medicine, and then stores that information in MediTeddi. So let's take a look and see what else we got here. Yeah. So let's see how MediTeddi works. We're going to show you a couple of interesting testimonials. I think we are. Oh yeah, I got to go here.
I would recommend MediTeddi because she really saved my life as far as my diabetes. And not only that, when I take my diabetes medicine, I'm also taking my other medication. So therefore, my A1C went down, my cholesterol went down. I had a really good report from my doctor, and even my depression helped. TeddiTeddi helped my depression because I was more likely to take my depression medicine with TeddiTeddi. And another reason why I would recommend her is because she's a good friend. She lets you know, she's loud enough so if you're in another room, you can hear her telling you it's time to take the medication. And I really like her because she's like a friend, and I don't mind taking her out when I have to take her out.
Okay, so she got attached to her, and anybody diabetic here? No. Well, anyway, her diabetes average sugar was around 300 when she started, and then after about 6 months, her average sugar was 150. So she added about 10 years of her life just from using the bear and taking better care of herself. So that in itself is a good thing, I'd say. Now let's see how the bear works as far as keeping track of her compliance.
And what I really like about her is the accountability. I needed accountability in my life. I needed somebody, because I live alone, and I needed somebody to be accountable to. And so I was accountable to MediTeddi, and then I'm accountable to my doctor.
Let's shoot. Let's see what this one is.
MediTeddi is easy to use. She even lets you know when her battery is dead. And then she lets you know when her battery is full. And so that's a good thing.
Let me just try this one more time. real quick.
And what I really like about her is the accountability. I needed accountability in my life. I needed somebody, because I live alone, and
Yeah, that I thought that was her showing me how to use the bear, but I got edited it. So let's just take one more.
I'd just like to thank my doctor and for giving me the opportunity to have something that is mine and it helps me with my health.
Yeah, that's. So yeah, so that we had one where she's actually pressing the pause and showing. Oh yeah, showing how it recounts the data. Unfortunately, but we can show it with the bear here. So the bears are quite easy to use. We've had people use them for up to 5 years now, and without any problems. So to start the bear, you pick the time when you want to, you only have to do this once, unless you change the time. Pick the time when you take your medicine, and then you turn the bear on.
In the morning.
If you take your medicine in the
Hi,
morning.
I'm MediBear. I'm here to help you remember to take your medicine. Every morning at this time, I will ask you if you took your medicine. I will ask you again in 10 hours, then every day at the same time. Let's get started. Wow, I am feeling fuzzy today. How about you? Press my yes paw if you took your medicine. Maybe that will wake me up. Or press my no paw if you did not take your medicine.
So you have to press the paw when she's not talking. That's the only trick.
Hey, you are smarter than the average bear today. Later, Gator.
So if you press no, she'll say something different. She says about 30 or 40 different things. It's on a rotating type thing. So she says a variety of different things. If you press her paw at random, no, she's not talking.
Hi,
Oh, yeah.
I'm glad to see you.
So the kids like it, the grandkids and stuff. They come and play with a bear, and then they press a paw and it says something to them. So now, and then if, as far as the data goes, it gives you a 7 and 14 and 21 day average about the compliance. So you just have to press both
Hi,
paws for that.
I'm glad to see you. Ready to hear the statistics? Press my yes paw to begin. Press my no paw to quit now. Statistics for 7 days. Positive responses, 67%.
Not too good.
Negative responses, 33%. Missed responses, 0%.
Now George would have been getting 0,
Statistics
and I would have
for
known.
14
what's going on.
days. Positive responses, 67%.
And it goes on 7, 14, 21 days. So that's how the bear works. You can see that people get quite attached to their bear, and it's worked, as I said, for 4 or 5 years without any problems that we've seen so far. So it's very sturdy and very reliable. It's got a 1-year warranty as well. So now it worked for the one woman. Does it work for people in general? And this is our last little bit here. We did do a study of 20 people. Several didn't qualify, so we ended up with 12 people. And in our control group, we studied them for 3 months. 6 we gave the bear to, and 6 we did not. We called each group every 2 weeks, And the people, the people in the control group that did not get a bear, they, right here, oh, here we go. Their average sugar, this is a measure of average sugar, these are diabetics. Their average sugar did not change over the 3-month period. The people in the bear group, their average sugar dropped to about 30 points. This would give them, these were average age of 50 years old, these would give them an average life expectancy of 10% improved, or an average life expectancy of 3 extra years if this was continued out. So it's very impressive. Now this is the Moresky scale of depression and your attitude towards your medications. Did not change in the control group and the bear group. This is like golf, the lower the score the better. The bear group, their attitude towards life, medicines, and everything in general improved dramatically. So I think this shows that our bear is quite effective in helping your mood and your attitude towards life, and also helps you live longer. So does MediTeddi help save lives? We feel we've proven that yes, MediTeddi does. And here's another happy customer. This is our information in the brochure. If you are a friend of yours, I think you're all taking medicine pretty well, but it doesn't hurt to be happier. Have a bear around, talk to you twice a day. But if you get the bear before September 1st, we'll take $25 off the bear, so it'll be $100 instead of $125. And either me or my wife will bring the bear to you. We only live about half a mile away on Edgewood Avenue, and set it up for you in your room. So are there any questions? Thank you for listening. I know you got a lot of other things you can do at this place, but are there any questions?
How much do the bears cost?
It's 100.
100.
And that's probably the cost of one of your pills. And the bear lasts forever. The bear, I mean, we have, and these bears have been around grandkids, everything else. The only thing is they get a little dirty if they're around the grandkids in the sandbox. But besides that, we've had no problems with it. When we started, $100 was kind of expensive.
It's sort of implying that the person gets up at the same time every day, goes to bed every day, is in the same room, they're not going out, at that time. At our age, we're still coming and going and.
Yeah, you're not going to be 100% with the bear, and nobody expects to be 100%. Say you're going to California to visit some relatives. You can change the time. All you have to do is turn the bear off, the memory stays, and then when you get to California, you turn it back on at the time you're taking your medicine.
First you have to pack it, you don't have room, that's number one. Number two is that you're going, if you're going to California, you're zooming around, so you're not always where the bear is.
Didn't you see on the brochure? Didn't you see the travel pack on the bear? Isn't that on our brochure, Linda? Oh, no.
I didn't get to the back of it yet.
Oh, no, I thought we had the,
No.
oh, that's on it's on our.
I've traveled a lot this year, and I'm telling you, you go with a little suitcase. And,
You're right.
And I take a little pillow even. There's no room to put a bear in.
Use
You
the
can-
bear to lay your head on.
You could cheat and turn the bear off while you're away,
Yeah,
so your numbers still look
yeah,
good.
yeah, oh.
That's
so
cheating,
you
but
still-
the bear doesn't have a sense of time.
Yeah.
Well, you could take it to your grandkids, or whatever kids. The kids love the bear.
Yeah, it's nice that it talks and that it has a lot of different things that it says.
Yeah, it says I wrote them, of course, but I put some funnies in there and some profound sayings, if I do say so.
Does it come with the clothes? I saw here.
No, the clothes are optional.
The clothes are optional.
One of my patients, I said I work downtown, right? So one of my patients personally knits these. And so her name is Marsha. Actually, her niece, I just saw her niece in the hallway. Her niece works here, Monet, if you ever see her. But these are 15, and these are 25. But they're hand crocheted. The woman is quite.
Yes, very nice.
And this comes with a headband too. And Linda, I think in our bag we brought in I think, Stu, we left the red bag out on the table out there, maybe.
Right there?
There's a red bag out there, I think. But I think they're beautiful.
You have,
Yeah,
they
very
have to keep
nice.
the bear on charge when,
The Bear lasts a couple of months. It's got a lithium
I
battery.
mean, you change the batteries or something,
The batteries last, so far they've lasted 4 years.
but you have to charge them.
Yeah, as the lady said, the Bear tells you, she says, I'm feeling a little sleepy today. I think I'm gonna need a charge. And it says that, you know, every 6 hours. It gives you about a 2 or 3 day notice. It just, I'm feeling a little sleepy.
And how do you charge them?
Plug it in, and the cord in the back.
You have to open the back for the charge.
Mm-hmm.
There's it's very accessible. So you charge it, and then it tells you when it's charged. Now, the only thing is, it may be, oh yeah, just show us some of the other ones that you did. It may get charged in the middle of the night. So in other words, it may wake up and say, hi, I'm feeling charged now, and it may be 2 a.m., so you may want
Oh.
to charge it outside your bedroom or something.
Oh, this lady's very talented.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I love this one.
Oh, beautiful.
Jeez.
She designed them herself, obviously, but she puts a little button on it too, you know.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, there's 15 different designs, but
Oh, for God's sake.
we threw this on because I'm a Bills fan.
Look at that, wow.
Yeah. I'm hoping, you know, if it ever sells a lot, that we can actually have like a cottage industry in the city, and then we can actually, you know, have a crochet industry, and or maybe the whole city, you know. There's a lot of crocheters around, and actually maybe boost some income in the city. So,
And are they washable?
no. There's a lithium battery in there,
Right.
so I wouldn't recommend that.
So.
Although you could take a damp cloth and,
Just wipe them.
Yeah, just like you would wash a carpet or whatever.
What kind of fabric are they?
it's a polyester type.
You can hold it.
Very cute.
Now, if you call the number on the brochure, that'll go to my cell phone, and I can talk to you about it or get your delivery. It'll be 125 after September 1st.
Where, this little plug that goes in, that's the, you take.
No. You need
It's
to
down.
actually open it all over the
Oh,
way.
more.
Yeah, without the clothes,
Oh,
it's easier.
oh, it's easier.
Of course, the plug and adapter come with the bear.
So the charging port is this one, and then the
Yeah.
off and on is the button right below it.
Would you like a brochure, sir?
Very cute, very cute. Did you want, oh, you have one? Wanna look at the back?
No.
No.
Here, I can pass it around.
Yeah.
Or like medical, you want to be a doctor or a nurse, they might like that there just to.
Did you wanna look at one?
No, sir.
Okay.
Okay, very good.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming.
Okay.
And best of
think
luck to you.
you're
Sounds
very-
like you're all on top of your health and your medicine, so congratulations.
Yes, but, try to think, would be good for a child, I think, to
Yes.
have it in their room, something they get attached to, and,
We have done it with, we have used it with children, and it's amazing.
you know, of a decent age, where they get to press the button.
Yes, we tried it with a kid with autism and ADD, and it was amazing. The kid was fighting with his parents every day. They were like pulling him down and pushing the medicines on him, and he was like, he couldn't wait to take his medicine.
This would be good for an autism child.
Yeah, well, it worked great for them. It's hard to get that. Well, actually, I have a friend of mine who's a psychiatrist at U of R, and they had a retreat, and so he brought the bear, and they all loved it, but they said, "Do you have definitive proof?" See, our study was only 12 people. I said, "Well, no, it's not statistically significant."
No,
So
you
they
have to
said,
have a bigger.
you know,
So
I
I
said it
see
took-
you're in section 2 now. that you've, come through this, a bigger group.
Well, no, I haven't done that. I mean, I did all myself
You're doing it
with my own money, so I'd have to, I'm not young enough, I don't think, to do it. But, yeah, I meant phase one was, I think phase one I meant the study, and then phase two was the testimonial, just phase two of the talk.
Okay.
But, yeah, so but you know, it took 20,000 people to prove that cholesterol pills work. Mine was almost statistically significant for the happiness factor. It was 87%, had 87% proof, just with 12 people.
Yes, well, you take one look and you love them.
Right.
You love them.
And
Yeah.
that's half
the battle.
That's half the battle.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to think who, what other group.
Well,
would-
kids are hard to reach. You have to go through the parents, and then so this group, the psychiatrists, they loved it,
Yeah,
but they said we can't really promote it unless it's statistically significant. They're kind of hardcore at U of R anyway.
right,
Uh,
right.
But like I was going to say, it took 20,000 people to prove the cholesterol medicine worked. 20,000.
Well, but that's 1 year. The next year, another group does it and they get the opposite.
You're right.
Get the opposite.
Well, they've
So-
retracted. They've gone way back on their recommendations.
Yeah.
If you've never had a heart attack or you've never had a stroke, never had any of that, it really doesn't benefit you.
No. And this, with the aspirin,
Same thing.
the same thing. My son kept saying all those years,
Right.
you don't need it, you don't need
And
it.
as a
And-
doctor, I was penalized for not giving aspirin to diabetics.
Yeah, and I to diabetic,
Pardon?
yeah.
And it turns out that it does no good for diabetics.
No.
Because you get an equal amount of bleeding strokes as you prevent.
And I would bleed my cardiologist and my internist, and this was maybe 2 years ago. They said, now you gotta pay attention, you have to go back, you have to take it. No fooling around, you have to take it. And I said, I can't take it or I'll bleed. No, you won't bleed.
Yeah.
I said, no, and they insisted, and I said, I'll show you. And 2 weeks, my nosebleeds, he couldn't
Yeah.
stop them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said, I told you, I would take it once a week, and that was it. And then I went off altogether.
It's shocking how much
Your body.
how many of these guidelines are developed with no evidence. I fought that tooth and nail for many years. Most of the time I lost some. Well, thank you very much.
I think it's a nice idea.
You ought to try one just to show your relatives.
I have
She's so young, isn't she?
doctors, my family's all medical.
I can tell.
Yeah, so my grandchildren are all big. I've got great grandchildren. I think everybody's on medications.
None of the great-grandchildren?
The puppy is on the medications.
All right, well, thank you for listening.
Thank you, but wait, I wanted that brochure. Can I take that?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Give
okay.
it some thought.
Yeah.
Might be fun.
Well, I'm gonna try to think of somebody that it might be useful.
Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
I learned a lot.